I do want to say to you guys,
Yeah.
and I don't know if I can put these together in words, but first of all, today I do something like this. It's a small thing for the thanks that I have for what you guys have done for me over 2 years. Some of you, Yatesians excluded, but for putting that time in, dealing with the silliness and the extras, and doing the job. I greatly appreciate that above all. It's really important to me to say that first and foremost. My daughter's convinced, she just told me yesterday, that I don't actually do this type of thing, the food for you, the Schmarbeque for you guys. I do it for me because by doing this, you guys will appreciate me and thank me more. So there's all of that Schmitt is what she thinks. So if you would, appreciate me for a second. Think about things to say, and then I just wing it a little bit. But the thing that kept resonating with me in thinking about you guys is footsteps. Back when I used to be a coach, a big thing that I used to emphasize is it's never about the result at the finish line. It's about every step you take to get to that point. And it's about sometimes the good things, sometimes the bad things, but and recently, in a book that was recommended to me, they kept using the phrase, which is sort of what I used to say. It's about the journey, not the destination. It's what you do along the way that makes a difference. And sometimes it's going to suck, but you got to embrace that because your feet will get you exactly where you're meant to be. And so to me, that's something that was really important to me as a coach, and it's important to me as you guys move on. To channel my inner Price, I'm going to talk a little bit about poem. It's probably, did I hear the groans? It's a fairly common poem, and some of you might be familiar with it, but in it, Robert Frost is talking about wandering through a yellow wood, and as he's wandering, he comes to a fork in the road. And he spends way too much time trying to figure out which way to go. He doesn't know which way to go. First he looks at the one side, then he looks at the other side, and he's like, yeah, I don't know, which one looks better? And he finally decides to take the road that he thinks it's less beat up, it's less destroyed, the grass looks a little bit less used, so he's going to take the one that is not being used. But then as he starts walking along it, he starts doubting himself. He starts saying, maybe I should have gone the other way. This one's not the same. I don't know what to do in life. I don't know where to go. To me, that is so much my life, and it may become your life. You don't know where you're going to go. You don't know what you're going to do. And you just keep walking along the path. At the end of it, Robert Frost says, he's going to say this many years in the future with a sigh. And he says, I came to a road. I'm trying to think if I get the words right. I was walking in the woods, and I came to a divergence in the road, and I took the road less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. And I love that phrasing because he says it made a difference. He doesn't say that it was the right move. He doesn't say it was good. So you don't know ever what his life's going to be back by. And I find that relevant because it's all about the idea that we have a path, we have a journey, and we just got to take those steps. And the thing about that poem, it's called The Road Not Taken. And that to me is even the most important thing when I look at it, because his whole life, he's gone this way, and he's still wondering about what would have happened if he went to the other one. And your challenge in life is not to regret those steps, it's to make those steps matter. I usually at this time talk about my favorite, this is obscure reference number 87, my favorite literary text, the Lorax. Many of you who had me last year when I fake retired, I did actually write about that to you and shared with it. So for my Yatesians, I'm going to summarize a little bit of my thinking on that, so bear with me just a second. Basically, there are three characters in it. There's the Onceler, the bad guy. There's the Lorax, the good guy, and there's the truffle of trees. Everybody else. I like to think when I'm considering that book, and it's why I kind of reflect on it, that every one of you has those paths that Robert Frost talked about. Every one of you has two yous in it. You've got the Onceler in you. You guys are going to be famous. You guys are going to be wealthy. You guys are going to push and push, and you're going to challenge yourself to be the best you can, and you're going to step on people. That's the one part of you. The other part of you is the Lorax, the one that's going to stand up for those who can't do, for those who aren't capable, for those who are struggling with things, the truffle trees, the ones who need you. And somewhere in your life, you're going to have to decide which path your step's going to take in doing that. Are you going to be the once-learner and be the realist, be yourself, take care of yourself, or are you going to consider everybody else and see where they go? And so to me, that's the thing that I see in that story by Dr. Seuss, is the importance of recognizing the two yous and finding your magic path in that journey. Obscure reference number 87. Or I guess, technically, should I call it 88?
Yeah. Yes.
I got her. Yes. Yeah, get on with it, Schmitt. It's a song.
Can you sing it?
It was a song that became my rallying cry and mantra back in my pathetic youth in college. Those of you who heard me talk about myself, even today, this is torturing me, even talking to you guys right now. Introversion, anxiety, and an inability to talk in front of people. I had spent a lot of time trying to come to terms with that. But I remember deciding the best path for me is going to be a loner. And to get on my motorcycle and act like Jack Kerouac and just ride around the world by myself. And now I got my little motor scooter so I can beep my way through. It's not quite a motorcycle, but I'll take it. But the song is it's called Me and Bobby McGee. It's sung by Janis Joplin. And part of the refrain in it at the point is that she says, freedom's just another word for nothing left to lose. And nothing don't mean nothing, but it's free. And I always say to myself, that's what I want my life to be. I want to just be free. I just want to not worry about anyone or anything and not even deal with the rest of the world around me. Just get on that motorcycle and roll. That was my solution to being who I was. But along the way, you find different things. And in that song, she meets this guy, Bobby McGee. She's hanging with him. They're traveling the country. They're going from the coal mines of Kentucky to the California sun, and they're spending time together, singing the blues, traveling, and just being free. And he gets bored, and he decides he's going to go ahead and leave her. He leaves her, and she realizes at the end that she's lost something big. And she says, I would trade all my tomorrows for a single yesterday, and goes on from there. And that's the worst feeling to ever have in life. And I encourage you, and I hope that you guys find a place where you are not regretting those steps that you've taken, that you take that path, whatever it is, and that you have some good fortune and good luck with it. I was fortunate because I took those steps and...
Met Miss Debbie.
Did you take a punchline? There's another obscure reference.
89.
89, now we're on. Bear with it. It's an essay I read a long time ago. The essay is from like 1940s by a writer named J.D. Salinger. He wrote some great literature before he became a loner and locked himself up in his house for the rest of his life. But that's a different story. But the story he writes, it has some great lines in it, and I hope I can remember them well enough to give you the feeling about it. It's about a young man who's a beatnik type of guy. He's a screw-up. He gets kicked out of school. He can't handle anything that he's doing, can't handle to do it right, and he just doesn't care. He wants to be a free spirit. He wants to deal with that same concept that Janis Joplin was talking about and let his path just lead him somewhere. He gets kicked out of school. His dad sends him to Germany, which I think is cool. So he can maybe learn some skills and come back and work for dad is what it's supposed to be. But while he's there, he sees a girl. And he talks about the girl. And to me, it's some of the most beautiful literary references I've ever seen about a young person seeing the right person. She's in the apartment below him, and he talks about the apartment below him has a balcony, and he says, I looked down and there was a girl there. She wasn't doing anything by what I could tell. She was just standing there, and she was just standing there, leaning up against the balcony rail, and holding the universe keeping the universe together is a phrase. I just love that, keeping the universe together. Because that to me is probably the most important thing, that you have fortune in finding that something or that someone that is that important, that when you see them, you look down at them and they are holding the universe together for you. And yeah, Miss Debbie is that one. Yeah. Somewhere along the line, I found Miss Debbie, and she holds the universe together for me. But she's not the only one, and this is kind of... Can we have a round of applause for Miss Debbie? Because I found two things in my life. I found two things in my life on my path that have become central to who and what I am. I found Debbie, and I found you guys. I found teaching. And so when I think about that, but most specifically you, as my last. The thing that I take away when people say, what are you going to do, Schmitt, in your retirement? Pal, I don't know. I'm going to do what I do every summer as half of what I think, and then I'll figure it out from there. But fortunately for me, that universe that Miss Debbie's holding up for me, it has stars in it. And I know in my heart that when I look in this universe, I'm going to see the stars, and it's going to be you guys. It's going to be you guys are the shining light that has made me find a way to be a teacher and to be a better person. So I thank you so much for that opportunity. And I know that when I'm on my own and I'm staring out there in my senility, I'll see a star or two, and it will be one of you guys. So thank you so much for being you. Good luck on your path. Peace, cheers, and out.